Brahma Gururvishnu Gurudevo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Narayan Narayan Narayan. Om Namami Gaudapada Shankaram Sri Sarveshwaram. We were discussing the reply to Purvapakshi. Purvapakshi's point was clear. He told that pramanas cannot mean ignorance, means pramanas are not revealing ignorance. In short, pramanas are not producing ignorance. The pramata who gains knowledge, see, simple word is neither. Today's date is 28. Pramanam is not producing ignorance. See, pramanam doesn't produce ignorance. Does pramanam produce ignorance or knowledge? Purvapakshi is talking from common sense. He says, pramana producing ignorance? He says that is too much. Ignorance means a misunderstanding. Pramana producing ignorance, it is not true. Only under a certain, only under certain mistakes, only under what is that? What you say that? Certain obstacles, certain non-conducive atmosphere, certain obstructions in the functioning of pramana. Oh, sorry. Phone I am just shifting from the only under the conditions of certain obstructions of pramana, then the pramana may not be able to give rise to knowledge. So that is okay. But the pramana by its nature can't produce ignorance. You can't say pramana produces ignorance. Okay, second. Then second thing is, pramata, who is pramata? Pramata is the one who uses the pramana and gains the knowledge, the result of pramana. Pramata is benefited, holds the result of pramana, holds the fruit of pramana. What is fruit of pramana? Pramana is knowledge. Therefore, neither can you say that pramana produces ignorance. Okay? Neither can you say pramana produces ignorance, nor pramata can be called the possessor of ignorance. The pramata after using pramanas. The pramata after using pramana, when he gains knowledge, you can't call him an ignorant for possessing the result of, for possessing the result of, for possessing the fruit of pramanam. Fruit of pramanam is jnanam only. For possessing jnanam, you can't call pramata as an ignorant person. This was Purvapakshis. Okay. Now Siddhanti answers. See, the Siddhanti answers. Pramana, he says yatta vaduchyate. He says pramana, pravritti and pramatru, both are in ignorance alone. How? Now he says, see, yattavaduchyate pramananam avidya vishayatve pramatuhu pramatrutva navakalapti. He says, if pramanas produce ignorance only, pramanas produce ignorance alone, avidyavad vishayatve pramatuhu pramatrutva anupaklaptihi, then you can't call pramata as a pramata. The knower cannot be called the possessor of knowledge. The knower is a possessor of knowledge. A knower or a pramatru cannot be called as a knower of knowledge or possessor of knowledge if the very pramana produces ignorance. See, if pramana goes wrong, the one who gets the benefit of pramana will be under ignorance. He won't get knowledge. So therefore, you can't say pramana produces ignorance and pramatru is under ignorance. Both you can't say that. But Siddhanti says pramana remain. Now you have misunderstood. Siddhanti says, Swamiji is not telling all those details, but anyway, I shall cover. He says, you are looking at one way, Siddhanti is looking at another level. You are looking at, see, it depends upon comparison. If you compare with a worse thing, it looks good. Depending upon how do you compare with? If a person's expectation is too high, what is given to you looks small. If you didn't expect anything at all, in fact you expect to be cheated, then when he didn't cheat you, in fact he gives you some money, you feel, my God, what a nice man, how gentle man, a great man, that not only he didn't cheat me, but he is helping me. So it depends upon what angle you look at it. If you compare with a worst person, this thing looks better. A thing looks better compared to a worse thing. But this itself looks defective if you compare with a still better one. This is the difference. Purvapakshi is looking at the pramana produces knowledge and pramatru is the one who is the beneficiary of the knowledge, who is the holder of the knowledge, one who holds the knowledge, one who possesses the knowledge. So how can you say pramatru is ignorant for possessing knowledge? You have to call him enlightened, knowledgeable person, enlightened person. Similarly, pramana is meant to give rise to knowledge. And how can you say pramana gives rise to ignorance alone? So Purvapakshi is right when he is comparing with that level. But when Siddhanta is also right because he is talking from another level. That's all. Here in Vedanti talks from another level. Purvapakshi is talking from a common man's, ordinary man's level. That's why, so here we are correcting the lower level and shifting the person to another level. That is a transcending. So what is transcended need not necessarily be wrong. Pramatru level is not wrong. Pramatru level, what Pramatru knows, what Pramana reveals to Pramatru are not necessarily wrong. They are right in spite of being right. It is wrong from another level, that is the very Pramatru Pramana, all this set, the entire unit of Pramatru Pramana Prameya, this entire set is Adhyasa upon the Atma. We are looking at from the level of Atma, not the level of Pramata. Purvapakshi was looking at level of Pramata and talking about Pramana and Pramana. But we say the very Pramatrutvam, Pramanatvam itself is losing a higher level. Losing a higher level. So Purvapakshi says, at this level I am good that I am using Pramana and gaining knowledge. Okay, it is something like a person is working and getting a job, getting money. He is working and getting money. Another person comes and shouts and screams, what is this you are injustice doing and all. And he is surprised, how do you say injustice? He is given a job, he is working and making money. And he says, the money originally belongs to him. He doesn't want to have to work to get the money. When the money is his own money, you have robbed him. You have robbed him of the money. And now you are giving him a job, asking him to work. As a result of the work, at the end of the day, you are giving him a small part of that amount which really belongs to him. Is it not injustice? But if he doesn't know this, he thinks that this person is a very kind-hearted person, very philanthropic person. He's helping me because he's given me a job and he's paying me for my work. Oh, how nice he is, man, how gentle man, how great man, generous person, all that you praise him. But once you come to know the money he is giving, the company in which he has employed you, the whole company belongs to you, the money belongs to you, all that is yours, you don't have to work there. Then you see that this fellow has cheated me, you get angry. See, you get angry. This fellow employed me, made me to work and paying a small amount of salary, when in fact the entire company and the salary, all that money belongs to me. Now, a person who is the owner of the whole company is given a small job in that company as a worker and paid a little amount, small amount, bare necessity for him. Do you feel proud or happy? Do you feel proud, happy, or you feel that you are cheated? So, the looking at is changing. The expectation, the comparing, the comparison is changing. When you think that you are totally a papa and whatever little help he has given, it looks great. But when you are a much more than richer man, even this money looks as an insult to you. When you are a richest man, and why should you get the small amount from your own money? As if he is doing a favor. He robs all his property and gives a small amount for it. You feel very nice, man, thank you. But it is not a thankful job, thankable job. In fact, he has cheated you. Because he is taking a bigger amount and paying a small amount from it. Similarly, Purva Pakshi says Pramata is working. Pramata gains knowledge. Pramatru gains knowledge and Pramana produces knowledge. Then how can you say both are in ignorant? Both are in ignorance. Siddhanti says both are in ignorance because you become Pramata because when you miss your Sakshitva, when you miss the all-knowing Sakshi, you become a limited knower. You become a limited Pramata by missing the all-consciousness, all-knowing Sakshi. By missing all-knowing Sakshi, you become a limited knower. Is it a credit for you? Is it a matter of pride for you? Or is it a matter of disappointment that you have lost a higher thing and you got a smaller thing? And Pramana. Pramana reveals something the very Pramatru, Pramana, Prameya appear because the Prameya is away from you and Pramatru is here. In between Pramana is connecting. When in fact the Prameya, Pramata, everything is yourself. When everything is Atma, why divide it and then lose one part of it and think that you are gaining one part of it? When whole thing is yours, it is something like person tries to give you something from it. And you say that, yes, why are you cheating me? Why are you giving a small point? Then what? I say the whole thing that you are holding in your hand is mine. How can you take the whole thing and give a small part of it? Similarly, Siddhanti says, the very Pramatrutvam is ignorant because Pramatrutvam is an appearance by denying your real nature as a Sakshi. Pramana is covering up your real nature, denying your all consciousness. By denying all consciousness, you get a small Pramana which reveals a few facts alone. A small thing it reveals you. See, when you use a binocular or some microscope or something, what do you see? Oh, you are able to see beautiful. True, you are able to see. I think this is a very good example. You use some specs, some binoculars. With the help of the binocular or blinkers, binocular helps you to see something. But it does one more thing. Binocular works as a blinker also. Okay? Don't you see that? Binocular is serving as a blinker also. Blinker means it is narrowing down your larger vision. Your pervasive vision, it is narrowing down to a certain area. No doubt it is revealing you something, but it is narrowing down your vision, which in fact was a larger vision. Because without binoculars, your bare eye could see the vast field, many things. But the binocular focuses your attention on one thing and blocks out the remaining area. isn't it? Now you tell me, binocular is only helping or is also harming you? Binocular is revealing certain things, but it is covering up also, because it is covering like it is functioning as working as a blinkers also. Binocular reveals, but it serves as a blinker. Microscope reveals, it serves as a blinker. Telescope, it helps, but it also serves as a blinker. So this other one we have to learn. Siddhanta is telling, no doubt you are a pramata trying to know. Oh, he says, how lucky I am. As a pramata, I am able to know many things. I am using pramana and able to learn many things. It doesn't feel elated at all. The other one, this person feels elated and happy. The other one feels disappointed. How can I tell you, fool? You don't understand how much you miss it by this pramatrutvam. By being pramatru, you are missing a lot. He says, I am missing. In fact, as a pramatru, I am getting a lot of knowledge. I am using pramana and trying to know that. How the pa? Why do you have to use pramana and know? When whole thing is yourself. When the whole world is in your sarvagnya, in your sarvajnata, in your omniscience, the entire world is in your omniscience, covering up that omniscience, denying that omniscience, and making you a knower of few things. Is it an honor for you? Is it a respect for you? That you miss a larger knowledge, larger capacity to know, and come to know a small things. See? The small knowledge is covering up, denying a larger vision. Any smaller vision is denying your larger vision, which is natural to you, which naturally exists with you throughout, because it is natural to you. Therefore, when Siddhanti says, it's okay, what you are telling, that level is okay, but I am talking at another level. Look at it. Look at it where I am pointing out. I am pointing out that without these binoculars, without pramatrutvam, you would have been Sakshi. Sakshi is all-knowing. Why do you need a small instrument to know one or two things? When with bare eye you can see the whole world, why use binoculars and see only one thing? Okay, binocular example doesn't fit in well, because binoculars reveals something. It is not narrowing down, but it is also expanding, deepening one object. Whatever one small you know that much deeply. Therefore, it is not exactly like that, but partly that binoculars example suits here. When you become pramatru, use pramanas, your capacity to know reduces. Because what eyes and sense organs can reveal, only that much you know. What your anumana pramana can reveal, only that much you know. You don't know beyond that. But if you understand that you can exist independent of pramanas and independent of pramatrutvam, that you are not a pramatru at all, then you have got infinite consciousness with you. You are infinite consciousness. Anything, everything, good and bad and near and far, past, present and future, everything you know when you are the pure consciousness. Okay. Therefore, when Siddhanti says that all this is ignorance alone, the Purvapakshi is defending it is not very great. He is wrongly defending it, because his defending it is only reinforcing. His defending is only reinforcing the limited view. Therefore, Siddhanti says, you are not limited view. You leave the microscope, see how your eyes are broad and capable of seeing everything. In fact, microscope is denying your larger vision by keeping you limited, by keeping you devoted, limited to a small view. By keeping you limited or devoted to small view, it is denying your larger view. This way we have to look at it. Therefore, pramana, prameya, all this is ignorance of Atma. You are talking, Purvapakshi, you were telling, pramanas eyes are revealing an object. I am telling the very seer through the eyes. The very becoming a seer through the eyes itself shows you are dependent on eyes. You are dependent on eyes. Not only you are dependent, eyes have become your instrument also. No, your upadhi also. It is a limiting associate. Your eyes are limiting your larger knowledge, larger experience of consciousness, and making you to know one small thing alone. Therefore, Siddhanti says, by being Pramatrutvam, you are missing a larger Sakshitvam. By using Pramanas, you are missing the very nature of the consciousness which is omniscient, knows everything. The very nature of Atma is omniscience and it knows everything. Then that omniscience is denied when you use Pramanas. See, just now I gave the example, another example I do. When you spend money and buy something, you feel that, oh, I have been, see it is how it is beautifully available to us. This mark in our nearby market, in our colony market alone, many things are made available to us. We are so happy and proud. We are thankful to these people that they are giving our opportunity to spend money and buy. Because we are just spending money and buying what we need. How great and how lucky we are, he says. But the other person says, you don't have to buy because your spending money itself is a denying that it is your money. The fact is all the money is your, all the objects are your. Why should you pay money for the thing which is your own? Why should you pay money for the things which are your own? Similarly, why do you have to use mind and sense organs when I am already Sarvajna, omniscient as an Atma? So, this mind and sense organ instruments are serving like binoculars. They are serving like blinkers to the Sakshi. They are covering up the larger area of Sakshi, all-pervasive Sakshi, and making you a small individual Jiva. Okay. Therefore, this Pramatrutvam, Pramanatvam is reducing your real nature. Therefore, that is Adhyasa. That is misunderstanding. So, therefore, I say that in this sense, Pramatrutvam is under ignorance. He is not gaining knowledge. More he knows, more he remains Pramatru. That means more he knows, more he remains Pramatru, limited Pramatru only. That's an interesting thing. See, more you know, you think that you are gaining knowledge. But that what you are gaining knowledge is covering up the other knowledges which are more. So to keep you engaged, to keep you busy, to keep you stuck with this knowledge alone, to deny you the larger one, we are only making you to stick to one alone. By making you to stick to one small knowledge, and you think that you are given knowledge, oh how lucky you are. It is something like he has shown to you some museum, and you feel that how lucky I am that he has shown me the museum. But you know that he has shown you the museum because if he didn't show you, you would have seen the larger palace only. So to deny the perception of the palace, to deny the sight of palace, I gave you one small room and then say that this is a museum. And you remain here alone and you can see that. You feel happy that how lucky I am, how great the person is, he's giving. He's not, you are not lucky. He's not giving you, he's only conditioning you. Therefore, the very Pramatrutvam is denying your Sakshitvam. The very Pramana is denying your Sarvajñatvam. Now you got the point. Therefore, Pramananam pravritti, illi nodi, Pramananam avidya vishayatve, Pramatuhu Pramatrutva anavakluptihi, Pramananam cha Pramanatva anavakluptihi. Purvapakshi says, if that is the case, if Pramata is ignorant, Pramana is ignorant, then you can't call Pramana as a Pramana and Pramatru as a Pramatru. Because both of them lose their status. Pramana loses its status. What is Pramana? It reveals a fact. So the Pramana loses its status of revealing something. Because only under ignorance Only under Adhyasa Pramana becomes a Pramana. If there were no Adhyasa, there is no Pramana. And Pramatrutvam is Pramatrutvam only under your misunderstanding of your Atma. When you miss your Sakshi, you become Pramatru. That means in becoming Pramatru, you are missing, you are not gaining. He thinks that, oh, I gained as a Pramatru. No, being a Pramatru itself is denying a larger entity of you, larger nature of you, that is Sakshitvam. Therefore, he says, without Adhyasa, no Pramatrutvam can exist, no Pramana can exist. Therefore, the very Pramatrutvam and Pramanatvam are pointing out to you that there is avidya, that there is Adhyasa. Only under Adhyasa you become Pramatru, you use Pramanas. Pramananam cha pramanatva anavakluptiretvaiti, then Pramanas cease to be Pramanas if you don't accept this way. That means Pramana, Pramatru, Pramana are obviously within Adhyasa. If there were no Adhyasa, what happens? Why do you say it is due to Adhyasa or Avidya only, Pramatru, Pramana, Prameya? If there were no Adhyasa, what happens? If there no Adhyasa, no Pramana, no Pramatru. He says, if there were no Adhyasa, you would have been a more conscious person, you would have been a Sarvagnya. By losing Pramatrutvam and Pramanatvam, you are only gaining, you are not losing anything. Therefore, avidya purasaratvam cha eva tadubhaya avaklupte, both Pramana and Prameya are Pramatru are within avidya only. Next, why? Because dehendriyadishu aham mamabhimana rahitasya pramatrutvanupapattau pramananupapatte. Pramana doesn't exist when there is no Pramatru. See, Pramanas cannot function without the Pramatru. Okay. That the Pramatrutvam itself is experienced in the wake of Adhyasa. He says, Dehendriyadusha ahammamabhimana rahitasya, a person who doesn't identify with his body, mind and sense organs, he can't become Pramatru. Unless he identifies with sense organs, he can't become Pramatru. Then Pramana also anupapatti. If Pramatru is not there, who uses Pramanas? Who uses Pramana? If there was no Pramatru. Therefore, being a Pramatru, he knows many things. He knows what he knows. Okay. Therefore, but Siddhanti says, the very being of Pramatrutvam, the very Pramatrutvam itself is a conditioning. It has denied your Sakshitvam. By denying Sakshitvam, you become Pramatru. Or the Pramatrutvam itself implies the denial of your Sakshitvam and reducing yourself to a small limited one. This is very important. ಗಮನಿಸಿ. ನಾವು ಒಬ್ಬ ಗುರುಗಳಿಂದ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದರು. Okay. Therefore, dehendriyadishahammamabhimanarahitasya pramatrutvanupapattau pramana pravrityanupapatte. Now, this is a brief statement of Shankaracharya. This Swamiji is elaborating now. Vastu sangraha vakyamidam tadetad vivrunoti cha. Now, this first sentence is going to be unfolded, explained in the future sentences, in the forthcoming sentences. Tadetad vivrunoti na indriyanyanupa. Now, this is the interpretation. This is the explanation of it. Nai dehendriyadishabhimana rahitasya pramatrutvanupapattau. So, without identifying with your body and sense organs, there is no pramata, there is no pramana. That means without adhyasa, without a basic misunderstanding, no humanity exists. No objects can be perceived. Tadetat vivrinoti nahi indriyanyanupadaya, without taking the sense organs, without accepting, without identifying with sense organs, you cannot be the knower. See, without identifying with your eyes, can you become a seer? Like in deep sleep. In deep sleep, you are not associated with the sense organs. You are not associated with the mind. Or if you are sleeping. So without accepting indriyas, no perception is possible. Indriyanyanupadeya ityadina yamartaha dehaha indriyani upalabdihi vyaparaha phalena visambandha sukha dukkha samvedanam cha ityetani dehendriyadini. Dehendriyadi, body, mind, etc. means then what all constitute that etc.? He says all this is within adhyasa. Dehaha, not only identification with deha, even seeing the deha, you cannot see the deha without identifying with it. Have you ever seen your body without identifying with it? Nobody can see. When you see the body, you only identify with it. Therefore, tadetat vivrinoti indriyanyanupadaya ityadina ayamartaha deha indriya upalabdhi vyapara phalana visandaha sukha dukkha samvedanam cha ityetani dehendriyadini. Deha, indriya, etc. etc. means all others. Teshu aham mama abhimanaha. You have an identity. Abhimana means an identity. Your identity is equated with body. Body is not one part of your identity, but it is a whole and soul identity. See, when your identity with the body is a complete identity for you. Teshu aham mama abhimanaha, on account of your identification with the sense organs and body, aham idam mamedam iti rupa pratyayaha, I am so and so, I am like this, this idea, I am like this idea arises only when there are body, mind and sense organs. Without them you cannot think of. Okay. Nacha atasmin pratyaya lakshano adhyasaha ityuktam adastat tadrishabhimana rahitasya pramatratvan apapadyate tatascha pramana pravrityanupapattihi. So, in the sakshi, no pramatru pramana prameya vyavahara. But only in the vyavaharik drishti alone, this pramatru pramana prameya vyavahara. Okay, I think we'll stop with it. The current also went off, it looks. And we'll stop with this today and discuss in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru Bhyo. Harihi Om.